Revelation chapter 2 verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
He knows the works and tribulation that these people go through. Keep going.
But thou art rich.
But thou art rich. Why are we rich? Why are these people so rich? Even though we're on the bottom of the planet, why are we rich? Because we have a God. That's why. Because we have the Creator as our
Nobody's at the bottom.
No.
And I know the blasphemy.
Wait, nobody's on the bottom. Where's these people at, man? Where do they live at? What conditions do they live in? These people are in the fucking ghettos, man. They're not living in Beverly Hills and shit like that. These people are in the
because
fucking
of the Zionists. They blame everything on them.
They've done that. They're the ones that do that. You're right. Keep reading.
They're the ones that.
You're right about that.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not.
I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not. Who's the only people?
The Jews, they own the ships that brought you here. The women
exactly. We know that. They funded
that.
that.
They have anything to do with it.
They're the same tribe. They come from the same forefather.
Where's the Jews here?
Tribe. They're not on here. Those Khazarians,
yeah,
they're not on here.
Khazarians,
they're not.
Amalekites, they're not on
here. What about the Sephardim?
They're not on here.
So where are they from?
They come from Esau. You know about Esau in the Bible? Edom? You remember Jacob and Esau?
Yes.
There you go. That's their forefather Esau.
I would agree with you on that. They're probably from Kuwait originally.
No. They come from Mount Seir. Look up Petra. If you look up Petra, that's Mount
rock, though.
It means rock. They lived in the cliffs of the rocks. That's why they call themselves Caucasians.
That's why they went to the Caucasian.
Yes.
There's no such thing as Caucasian.
That's why they went to the
That's why they call themselves that. They're not. Caucasian means Caucasoid, which means cave dweller.
It means from the Caucasus Mountains?
Yes. Of Georgia, Russia.
Yes. Caucasians. There's no such thing as Caucasian.
I know, but he's trying to tell you.
But that's what they will. If you was to ask a so-called random white person what's their nationality, some of them will say I'm Caucasian.
Yep.
They're wrong.
But that's what they say.
It's wrong.
I know,
but they know. But they know where they come from. They know they came out of them rocks, them caves, and that's recorded in the Bible. That's in the Bible. That's in the scriptures.
That's why they like these.
So where do the Hebrews come from then?
The Hebrews, they go all the way back to Abraham, Shem.
And where was that?
Matter of fact, it started with Eber. Matter of fact, let's go to Genesis.
Yeah, but where
it started.
Where is it?
Where? Well,
in the Middle East.
In the Middle East, the Fertile Crescent. That's where Hebrews originated.
So the Hebrews are separate from Israeli tribes.
Well, the Israelis are not Israelites at all. They're not Israelites. They call themselves Israelis, meaning they're citizens of Israel, but they're not the people of Israel.
Why are they the only white-skinned people in that region? Everybody else has a shade of brown.
Everybody else.
I know, because they're not from here.
No, they're not from Hebrew. They're from. You never heard of the Khazarians, the Jews?
You in Genesis?
Yeah. The ones that are here, they were the big noses. This is South Russia.
We're going to show you where the word Hebrew actually came from.
Yeah. Well, if it came from Africa, I don't have a problem with it.
It didn't come from Africa.
But, you know,
It didn't come from Africa.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 21. Unto Shem also, the father of all.
That's why they always call themselves Semitic. Because that goes back to Shem.
No, it's not Semitic.
Yep.
They call it
Khazarians are not
They
Semitic.
say Semitic. That's what they say.
They're not.
They are out of Shem.
Semitic is people from the Middle East. Arabs.
Everybody
They're Semitic. They're Semitic because they descend back from Shem.
Adam and Eve, they're from the Middle East. The
Greeks were from the Middle East, I can tell you that. That's for sure. That's why we look different, my friend. We look different.
We look different because
we should be celebrating.
You don't even know the original people that inhabited that land. It wasn't called Greece back then.
Hellas, it's called Hellas. There's a meaning to it. From Helen.
Okay, whatever.
Believe me, I studied ancient Greek, I know all about it. And it
But you're talking about when the Greeks came into power though.
Who taught you ancient Greek?
Me?
Somebody probably white. Probably. Some Caucasian probably taught that to you.
I have hundreds of books on ancient Greece. That's my hobby. And it doesn't have anything to do with the Middle East.
That doesn't matter because you don't have proof. I can write a book to tell you right now that the sky should be green and the earth and the land should be purple. And if you read it over and over and over, you understand the time. and you see how it looks that way. You
Yeah, but that can be this too. I mean, you can try to convince me all you want.
You're right. And the first thing I told you was what? This ain't for everybody. This ain't for everybody on here. This for the. We ain't trying to convince nobody.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
This
this is interesting.
We're going to speak personal sake anyway.
Listen, we're telling people that it rings in their heart, that it makes sense to them. We're not convincing them. They're convincing themselves. We're just bringing it to you.
Look, if this is true, that's fine. But
So that's
what I'm saying. We're agreeing, and in a way we're agreeing because there is no Greek people here or Germans or anything.
Right.
And in my history that I've studied, it makes sense because there's no mention of us coming from the Middle East anyway, which is right in front of me. So it makes sense.
How far back did you go? To Genesis?
The furthest back the Greeks would go is to the Titans and all that, the wars.
So that's
way
Alexander.
later, man. That's way later.
Who ruled the earth before Alexander?
We're talking about
Who's
maybe 30,000 years now.
Before Alexander the
30,000
Great,
years now.
before Alexander the Greek, who had power? What people had power before the Greeks came into power?
Spartans were there. But I'm talking about 30,000 years, not 3.
There were the
30,000.
Persians and the Medes. The Medes are actually
The Syrians today. The
I'm just
Persians.
saying.
and before them the Babylonians.
Of course there's no Greeks on here.
Because this is true.
Because our history is
Because they're not
so-
Israelites. The people on this side are
Yeah,
Israelites.
of course we're not
Greeks
from
are
here.
not
We're not
Israelites.
from there. That's
There are
what I'm
people
saying.
that
We're not
look-
from the Middle East.
Listen, but that's fine. But
Yeah.
that's fine. Say what you want with that. But there are people from this father line that look like Greeks, that were raised as a Greek, that were raised as an East Indian, that were raised as Japanese, that were raised as white people, and raised as Caucasians. But their spirit
The
goes
people
back.
on this side at one point, which was a southern kingdom, the Jews, they became, when they got conquered by the Greeks, they became Hellenized and they became known as the Hellenistas, which means they were Greek-speaking Jews. And all they was worshiping Zeus, Hades, and all that other stuff. That was all Greek mythology, but they was into that during that period.
About that. I mean,
And that's what the New Testament was about.
I've heard something like that, but not that
because we know
hardcore.
you don't know about that.
You don't know.
pretty hardcore,
You don't know.
man, to say
You
that.
don't know.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I'm serious. That's why we're telling you. But we don't want you to take our word. Don't do more research.
I just researched the Greek people.
But
I don't know
understand,
about this.
okay, but understand this. We foundate everything through this. Everything gets foundated through this.
Well, how does that have to do with the Negroes, though?
Because that's who we are. I'm not even a Negro. I'm a Native American. But I look like I could be Negro.
Everybody's
My spirit goes back. But it depends on your father's side.
Well, everybody has a little bit in it.
Right, but my father line goes back to the
Well,
natives.
maybe not you.
Not the Europeans.
I'm talking about, because they came over here raping our women and stuff too. I mean, let's not forget about that.
Well,
part.
same shit happened to the Mexicans too.
Right, especially like if a Native American man marries a Mexican woman and they have a son and then they marry another Mexican, and then they're gonna start to look Mexican even though that spirit goes back to a Native American.
That baby still
That's
gonna be
right.
there.
People have white babies with black people,
Right.
Mexicans with white babies.
Right. But that's why it
That's
only
happening
matters
here.
what your father
Well, that's happening
you
everywhere.
are what your father is.
It's not the Greeks, though. I mean,
This guy in the Greeks.
yeah,
You
I
guys
mean,
are tippy top. Hold on, that's what you're trying to say.
no, I'm just saying that we don't
Hey,
mix them. So.
you're at the right place. You just tell us.
I mean, they don't mix them.
This guy's just trying to say Greeks are the best.
No, I'm
But
not saying
y'all the best. Why the Romans
Hey,
take that?
The Greeks were, hey, all right, man.
Hey, if you're Mexican, you're from the tribe of Issachar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's Jake.
Good luck to you guys.
Hey, man, the Greeks,
This
the
could be
Greeks,
true. Who knows?
you could
Just
call
know
yourself
which
a
tribe
Greek,
you're
but
from. What's your nationality?
I'm Mexican.
you're from the tribe of Issachar. You an Israelite. You a chosen son of God. You a son of the Heavenly Father.
Is it
You
the
know?
cross?
Yeah, but the cross isn't connected like that. That's a But when we understand, I know. I'm just so you know, though. You know. All right, bro.
Very interesting. I don't like this, though. I think what happened is wrong.
You're not supposed.
I don't like
Nobody's
it.
And I
supposed to
know
like
who's at
that.
fault for all this shit, too.
Right.
That's what gets me.
But
This I
did
haven't
you know,
seen.
Did you know that
Still going on.
Yes, bullshit.
Absolutely
Yeah.
right. Did you know that God's responsible for this?
What?
Did you know that God's responsible for this?
God?
Yes.
Whoa, it's a very nice God, isn't he? Good thing I have the
That's
12
yeah,
ones.
That's an excellent father. You're absolutely right.
yeah,
Because we messed up. If you did something bad, listen. If you did something bad and didn't obey your father, didn't even your way, Maybe your dad wouldn't, but ours would. My real fleshly father would, and so would the Heavenly Father.
We'll see what happens.
Let's read it.
Hopefully the people who
Deuteronomy
did this are
28,
burning.
Deuteronomy 28, chapter 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his
It
statutes,
says, if you will not hearken and listen to do what he said, all his statutes and commandments.
which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And from that verse on down to the end of the chapter, it's all the curses that we're going to
The people who are responsible for this are burning. I hope. Hope they're
No,
punished.
but they gonna
Repent,
pay
you're not
for it.
supposed to hurt people.
They gonna pay for it.
Yeah, I hope so.
They gonna pay for it, man.
And just to tell you, my people have not done anything like this to no one.
We did. We did.
Probably Alex. I don't even like Alexander the Great. I know he went around killing
He
people.
was one of the
I was
top.
I'm against
Told the man
him.
all of what they besieged Jerusalem and all of that. So I mean,
They did
happened.
some wrong things. I know.
All right, man.
Okay. Good luck, guys. Thanks.